it's no longer like previous cycles. We all have some target.
If I'm an AI that wants to achieve some super intelligence, I want to talk to the other AIs.
Except for right now, the sentiment in the space is kind of a little bit all over the place.
At the same time, they want to see, okay, what's the difference between your token compared to meme coin?
Welcome back to the Rollup, your home for technical talks and open conversations that shape the modular future. Nothing on today's show is to be construed as financial advice. You can see our full disclosures list at therollup.co/ventures. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode after a quick word from some of our awesome partners.
Innovating finance, global, institutional, and on-chain. Deep liquidity to drive capital efficiency. Now maximize yields on institutional-grade liquid staking with METH. Unlock $1 trillion of capital via Bitcoin. All of this secured by Mantle's treasury of billions in stables and ETH capital pools. This entire ecosystem is coordinated by a vast network of seasoned VCs that are aiming to create the next generation of banking and financial technology. This is Mantle.
All right, YQ, ETH Denver.
Oh yeah, finally.
Fresh off of the Hong Kong trip, huh?
Yes.
You as well.
Yeah.
What is your so I put out a tweet saying that the crypto culture in the East versus the West is vastly different, but with no other explanation. And people were asking what's like for an explanation. So I don't know if there's anyone better. Like, what is the difference from your perspective from like the Hong Kong trip versus what you expected ETH Denver and just like this broad difference between the East and the West when it comes to crypto? Just curious from your perspective.
Yeah, it's a really good question. As you know, right, we're building a lot of these infrastructure stuff for the past few years. I've been in this space for a long time, and we've been working with all the top infrastructure projects, and somehow most of them are based in either the US or in Europe, right? So that's why I roughly know what's the main focus from this Western project. At the same time, because I'm living in Singapore and I have a lot of friends in Singapore, Hong Kong, and also Southeast Asia. So I regularly talk to them. Roughly, I also know what they are thinking. As you mentioned, right now I would say there is a huge difference between the focus around this Western project and also Eastern projects, and may not just be project, also VCs and also the traders and the KOLs. Somehow we can from this sort of 3 or 4 aspects, right? First, for the project, I would say, as we can see, right, for the past few years until now, most of the infrastructure projects and infrastructure innovations coming from the US and Europe. For example, for the Rollup, right, OP, Arbitrum, all in the based in the US. Same to the ZK Sync and probably in the half US, half Europe. Starware, we all know, right, from this Israel. And then regarding restaking, right, AltLayer, Shuram, good old friend from this, Seattle, right? And then Babylon David, Stanford professor. And even SolLayer is also from this Bay Area. Yeah. So as we can see, right, all these major infrastructure innovations from these whilst at the same time, most of the applications, especially in this cycle, are from this East or the Asia. A few examples, right? People like Hyperliquid. It's these people from Malaysia. Pendo, my good friend Tien. He's right now he's Singaporean, but originally from Malaysia. And then beyond that, also this Jupiter. Also, this Emil is in Singapore, but most of their teams in Malaysia. Same the GMG and the bot they are in Hong Kong and also Singapore. I can give you a lot of these examples, but roughly as you can see, right, infrastructure mostly from this West, but a lot of these popular application from the East. And then on the VC side, I would say most of the US VCs like Polychain and ACNZ, all the ones, their main focus still on infrastructure. Probably that's why we have more infrastructure from the West. And then on the East side, we have more liquid fund. Like Arthur from Defiance, also my good old friend, and he's running this liquid fund. So far, I mean the the ROI is pretty good, and a lot of these Asian VCs like LSG, Hashkey, and a lot of them actually they also have this liquid fund or this trading part
and market makers as well. I met a bunch of those at Consensus, a lot of market makers.
Yeah, the cool thing is like when we talk about market maker, like for example, GSR, originally they are from the US. Wintermute, actually GSR, both GSR and Wintermute, they are headquartered in London. And somehow they have the branches in Singapore. But as you know, right, more and more like sort of these projects launch and a lot of, I don't know why, probably all the exchanges are like Asian exchanges, so that's why they put a lot of efforts in Asia and try to do the market making there. And beyond that, as you mentioned, right, we have this sort of like a mini cycle for the past few months on the meme coin trading, right? A lot of these KOLs and also these kind of individual traders, they are based in Asia. And a lot of them actually are also in the US, but they couldn't say that they are in the US. And a lot of the trading boards also from the Asia. And I would say, as you can see, right, when we're talking about this long-term infrastructure projects, mostly in the US and Europe, but when we're talking about this trading and also this market maker and also exchanges, they're mostly in Asia. So that's why the sentiment and the mindset are completely different. So in the West, for example, in Denver, right, when we look at all these events, most of them are hacker halls and also hackathons, and people are just trying to build some cool applications, cool infrastructure, right? But in Hong Kong or in Singapore for the token 2449, right, we all know that it's mainly about trading. So people are like look at what kind of coins, either VC tokens or even the meme coins, like so what kind of assets they can trade. So it's more like trading focused culture, and most of the topics around this trading. So in that case, right, like so it's no longer they don't really differentiate whether it's a VC coin, infrastructure coin, or app coin. So basically what they want is like whether you have a better upside and what's like the current narrative or what's the current hype around all these sort of tokens or coins they can trade. So they are more straightforward, I would say, compared to a lot of the VCs and projects in the Western. I believe you can also feel the like this kind of cultural difference, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, but at the same time, I can't say which is like sort of better, because like in the end for crypto, right, it's not just about pure building, it's also about like trading. And when we talk blockchain, we also talk about cryptocurrency.
Of course,
it's like they are sort of
they're intertwined. Yes, it's a natural evolution, together. Right? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not sure. There's no. I mean, without one, there wouldn't be the other, and without the other, there wouldn't be the first one. They go hand in hand.
Yes.
But I found through Singapore Token 2049 last year, Bangkok, and then now Hong Kong, I found there was a stark difference between just the culture, like the cultural events there versus ETH Denver, even ETHCC,
yes,
and some of these. And I mean, I've come to be grateful for both, and you kind of have to learn how to operate in each different environment, and it's been quite. I mean, it's been enjoyable to be a part of as a whole. Except for right now, the sentiment in the space is kind of a little bit all over the place, and so you're an OG. Like you're friends with Vitalik, you're friends with some of these really early adopters of the space, and you probably have a different perspective than many people who have been here for a couple of years or even just a year or two. So with this perspective, I'm curious about your takes on basically what's been happening in the space over the last several weeks. I mean, to kind of lay the groundscape, we had this high FTV, low float meta that people pushed back on, kind of went all the way to the other side of the pendulum to this kind of meme coin meta, and then now just like flat out crime on chain. And I, due to your tenure in the space, I think you may have a unique perspective on the cabals that have been happening and stuff with this Libra coin, Meteora, Jupiter. So like what's been happening there, and like what's your take on all of this?
Yeah, as you mentioned, right, for this cycle, I would say this cycle is quite different from the previous ones. Typically within one cycle, right, we won't have more than probably two narratives. But in this cycle, for the past almost 1 year, we probably already have 5 or 6 mini cycles. Like around the end of 2023, right? Andy, Robbie, you must know modular, right?
Of course.
Yeah, modular, and then after that it's modular Celestia, and then it was hot for a few months, and it was around the top when Celestia price went to the top. And after that, it's Eigen, right? Restaking.
Yeah.
Points system, people farm like sort of points. And then after that, AVS. And then we got this ZK season, Starware, Star Knight, and a bunch of ZK projects, launch tokens. And then after that, I believe we also have this like stuff around this sort of this BTC5.
L2s,
Yeah,
BTC5,
L2,
yep.
BTC, Babylon,
Yep.
and then we also have this DSUN, and then around this sort of like the third or fourth quarter of last year, we went to this kind of meme season, and with pumped up fund got popular. People launched meme coins, and basically people turn like sort of this Solana and also pumped up fund into an online casino, along with all the different liquidity provisioning from this Iridium and also Jupiter. As you can see, right? So for this cycle, it's really complicated, and I did two more like sort of mini waves. One is this AI agent,
Yep.
along with virtuals SNZ. After that is Trump token, President coin, and then right now celebrity coins until the Libra scandal, as you mentioned. So as you can see, right, we already list almost 10 different small like sort of narratives and also waves.
Yeah,
right?
within a year. It's been crazy.
Yeah, it's super fast, and
Yeah.
If we follow the previous like sort of trend, right, it's probably can last for another like 10 years with all different narratives. But right now, everything just squeezed into almost 1 year, and everything is moving so fast. And even for a new narrative or trend, it typically just lasts 1 or 2 months. And then people, I just feel like people right now are super smart. People can quickly pick up the playbook. So if you are on the new narrative, like sort of for the first 1 or 2 projects, you probably can be successful, let's say on top exchange. But if you're the number 3, it can already be very late. As you mentioned, right, regarding like sort of this experience, I as I mentioned, right, I talked to these projects either from the US or from this Asia, right? I just feel like right now it's quite, weird. That's exactly the term when I talk to a lot of these VCs, traders, even KOLs, and everyone's feel weird because for VC project, right? If you, infra project, feel like okay, right now, as you mentioned, right, high sort of high FDV, low float, complained by almost everyone, also exchange community, but if you and then like if you directly launch on this sort of IDO DEX, right, you don't really have a lot of liquidity, and then after that it's very difficult to be listed on centralized exchanges, something like that. And then beyond that, even like sort of the people who the trader earn a lot from meme coin, they complain because right now even like to trade meme coin is very difficult. The thing is like previously you can still have this Christmas tree, right? Probably after a few days or a few weeks, but right now it's just a few minutes.
Yeah.
Even for this meme coin trader, pro trader, they feel like it's just too fast. And if you look at the data for the past 24 hours, they only probably one project, one token graduate from pumped up fund reach like 1 million FDB or something like that. So basically, I just feel like everyone has a playbook and they can just run bots, front run each other, and so right now everything is quite sort of found out by all the players, traders, and all the like sort of people. And then VCs are super, concerned because like if they are making investment in the primary market right now, it's not many projects with low FDV they can make investment into. At the same time, right, most of the good projects, if they can make money, they don't want the investment from VC. Otherwise, if they couldn't make money, they couldn't get the investment from the VC. And then, as you mentioned, right, regarding the Cabal, Of course, after this Libra, we found out, okay, definitely there are some cabals around all these celebrity coins.
Yeah.
And recently we read from the CoinDesk, Kanye basically sold his Twitter account to this bug, this another cabal on Solana. And at the same time, we can see there's cabals in the Europe, Dubai, and also in Hong Kong, in Singapore. Different cabals, they are running different like sort of meme coins, and I just feel like when we say like sort of when we complain is sort of high FDV, low float, when token listed on this central exchange, but when we say meme coins launch on this DEX, we say it's a fair launch, right? But actually not fair.
Yeah.
All these from this Libra like sort of scandal, right? They revealed that all the famous meme coins are basically manipulated by different cabals. Like they accumulate probably over 80 or 90% of the tokens, and at the same time, they say it's a fair launch, but we all know that it's not fair. So that sort of that's why we say the current market is very weird. It's sort of like people. It's no longer like previous cycles. We all have some target. Like last cycle, we say, okay, we have the DeFi summer. We know that Ethereum too slow. We need to address the scalability issue. So we have the target. Let's build better rollups, right, to solve the scalability issue. And then we have optimistic rollup, OP Arbitrum, and then all the ZK rollup. We have the target. Everyone have like very specific goal.
Yes.
But right now, why I say it's weird because like VC don't know what kind of project to make investment into.
Yeah.
Projects, even infra projects, they know that we build like great infrastructures, but we don't really have like sort of killer applications. User may not buy our coins because like they don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
They don't have the patience right now. And then for the pro traders, because like right now the playbook is leaked, and so they couldn't make money for the Christmas tree just within a few seconds, right? And then for cabals, like because like they are exposed by this media, and right now it's not that easy to just reuse the playbook to launch celebrity coins to basically grab money from the.
So you're basically saying nobody knows what to do now. Nobody
has.
has.
At least that's sort of this conclusion I got.
Yeah.
After this Hong Kong trip.
Yeah.
And
I agree completely. There was very little signal there. It was like, it was just like, yeah, nobody knows what's going on actually. Nobody knows.
But at the same time, I would say like, okay, because like we don't really have this grand sort of theme right now. For example, when we complain about the scalability issue, right? We know that this Arbitrum OP, we are building a rollup service, right? Yeah. The throughput actually is very good.
Yeah.
We just need some killer application bring millions of transactions into these chains, right?
Yeah.
We know it's no longer a problem. That's why people feel like sort of confused.
Yeah, there's like this existential like question of like what are we building here and like who are we building it for and. Yeah.
Yes, at the same time, when some people building like social or game applications and they see, okay, right now the Pump Fund is so popular, so successful, and then people just hesitate. Is blockchain is just about this casino? Like we should just build like sort of tools. Like we can see like right now probably over 20 different bots, right, just to do this meme coin trading. Should we just build on that direction, or we should just focus as we discussed for the past few cycles? We should just focus on building the next generation web, right? Like probably we should really convert the entire internet into blockchain technology. As Robin mentioned, right? We probably just roll back to this blockchain narrative, but we don't know. I mean, because like sort of this community and institutions, liquid fund, like sort of individual traders. They want to find some valuable coins to buy. But at the same time, they want to see, okay, what's the difference between your token compared to meme coin?
Yeah. And this may not be a super satisfactory answer to like those people that are looking for like, what token do I buy? But yeah, I think it's stablecoins and RWAs. I do. I mean, I think like we've gotten so disillusioned, and I think that leads to like that feeling of like feeling jaded with the market when, you know, what are we really doing here? Why have we been here 7 years and all we've got is pump fund Christmas trees that die after 2 seconds? That's not why we came here. That's not why you're here. It's not why we're here. Like, we see what else has product market fit. Stablecoins is like the only other thing. Real world assets, the only other thing. And yeah, I have been preaching blockchain, not crypto. Yeah. And I think blockchain, Bitcoin, not meme coin, speculative cabal coins, but it does naturally evolve into crypto in the sense that, blockchains and tokens are very intertwined, as we've talked about. And so I think stable coins and RWAs, like, these are aspects of crypto, but they don't have the extractive, predatory nature that meme coins and cabals have. And I think there is real adoption and real product market fit here. And further, I think the liquidity injection that can come from stablecoins and RWAs can take us to a golden era. Mm-hmm. I really believe it. I think you look at billions of dollars entering the ecosystem through this channel. I mean, that does end up permeating through the rest of the on-chain economy. It ends up going into DeFi. It ends up getting collateralized on lending markets. And ultimately, people use that to get credit and buy coins. What coins? I don't know. You're not going to buy a stable coin for speculation value, but you end up with more credit, more liquidity in these systems. And then that does rise tides, lifts all boats.
Yeah, some of my friends actually hold the same idea with Robbie. So, like, for example, Solana Foundation, I believe you talked to Lily previously. She's like heavily pushing this PayFi, right, on Solana. And also, Solana Foundation has this kind of strategy to basically try to introduce these institutions, traditional institutions, into their chain to build like sort of the payment, all these kind of financial infrastructure. But as we all know, right, if Pump.Fund is sort of the current killer application on Solana, it may scare away some projects or builders who want to build on Solana. You get my point, right? Yeah. Because like it's same to like sort of Ethereum. Ethereum has a DeFi and everything very legit. So that's why when we talk about this RWA, we say that people will deploy on Ethereum, not Solana. Yeah. Because right now, somehow people have the impression Solana is just about meme coin. Oh, yeah. Right. Just about Christmas tree and just about Pump.Fund.
For a while, it was a no-brainer. If you're going to launch a new token or app, you're going to do it on Solana. It didn't make sense to do it anywhere else. But that was while every coin was a meme coin. Everything had mimetic value. And so now that we're kind of returning to fundamentals a little bit, we return to the chains that have already exhibited the infrastructure to support the apps with fundamentals. Yeah.
So where do we go from here, like you, as in terms of capital allocators, institutional capital allocation, and also with this kind of AI times crypto idea? We had that first iteration. And what's funny is I saw a tweet today that said, since the AI and crypto meta kind of died, the actual AI space has progressed insane amounts in the last like 6 weeks. Like Grok has had insane progressions. We've seen like physical robot technology make insane strides. There was DeepSeek came out. Gemini has way new models.
I think it was Google or Microsoft that just launched a new quantum chip that is able to like have like now 1,000 qubits or 1,000,000 qubits, like an order of magnitude more than they had previously, because they said that they were inventing a new state of matter, like liquid, solid, gas, but now this new thing that can support like movement of qubits. So to your there's just all of these innovations that are happening on all of these technology and science fronts. Blockchain is at the middle of this. How do we leverage blockchain to tie a lot of these things together and connect all the innovations that are happening all around the space? Redstone is DeFi's modular oracle, supporting over 100 clients on over 50 chains and offering 1,000 assets. Redstone is the leader for Bitcoin staking and yield-bearing assets. They offer the most robust, customizable price feeds available in any model. Join the Redstone exhibition today.
I was super sort of nervous for it's sort of like I got that kind of feeling for the past like sort of over a decade, I just feel like, okay, I didn't know what to do next after this Hong Kong trip. But somehow, I don't know why, I didn't sleep very well last night due to the jet lag. But somehow I figure out like, okay, because the advantage for entire crypto and blockchain space about is kind of liquidity provisioning and basically make everything into some liquid asset and do trading and this kind of frictionless market, right? And at the same time, I just feel like for there's a bunch of things Web2 companies couldn't do. As you mentioned, right, all these crazy AI stuff, I don't think in crypto we can do that. We don't have all these experts to do this kind of AI stuff. I still feel like the best experts on AI is still in this Web2 space. But what we can do, or I mean, back to the point, right? What kind of tokens these institutions, buyers can buy. I just feel like for the next few years, it will be returning to the value. So it's sort of like we should figure out like sort of either crypto native companies or Web2 companies enter the crypto. They can build some like sort of products, applications that can generate revenue. Because right now we can see like the regulation is very loose, right? If we can have the projects who can generate revenue, then we can have the revenue back by the tokens. So it's quite similar to the blue chip companies or stocks in this US market, stock market, right? If you can really have a lot of revenue and you can buy back, and then people can roughly calculate, okay, what's the worth of your company or your protocol. It's just like I feel like somehow it's sort of like this tipping point after this meme coin craze. Like people need to figure out, well, okay, what's next? And at the same time, if we want to bring this Web2 company to crypto, right, we must provide something. The something I would say is still let them issue coins, and we have the best liquid market for trading these coins and to bring the value for their product. But how we value it is really, I think it has to be revenue.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I just feel like there's no fundamental to really back a project. If we say all the coins we have just for governance, and I just feel like, okay, then that's why a lot of traders, they say that, okay, what's the difference between a governance token and meme coin?
I think it doesn't necessarily have to be financial. Like I think there are non-financial use cases. If we think about the blockchain as a mechanism for coordination,
yes,
not necessarily humans. It could be agents and machine-to-machine coordination. We use its distributed nature and its decentralization to come up with verifiable coordination between these agents. And I think machines can leverage that. I think all the innovation in AI can leverage that. Putting the quantum stuff aside, I think, that again, it's boring because it's not like speculative, but it's like using the blockchain to coordinate amongst these agents, not necessarily using it for its financial appreciation. But I think we can use it as a means of coordination. And right now, these AIs don't have interop. They aren't able to coordinate with one another because all of these are walled gardens. All of them are proprietary models. And so I think blockchain can be a way. Look, we've used blockchain as probably the best tool for funding and maintaining open source technology.
Yes, you're right.
Right? So I think if we can take closed source AI, which was supposed to be open to begin with, actually make it open. What is the right technology to make it open? I think it's putting it on chain.
Yeah, absolutely. I still feel that crypto AI is a natural fit. So because like if AGI is possible in the next few years, definitely the agent or the AGI wants its own identity, its own like probably a wallet and also data, right? And how it can have it is basically naturally can directly get all these basic stuff from blockchains. You have this wallet address, right? That's your ID. And then you have the wallet, all the assets, and also data, right? You have the control and by yourself. And then it's permissionless and frictionless. No one can stop this AGI. But as Robbie mentioned, right, we need a much better infrastructure to handle it. Yeah.
I think AIs need better infrastructure, and it's a weird dichotomy, us AIs. But like, if I put myself in the mind of an AI, my goal is to like be AGI, right, and get more and more intelligent. I don't want to talk to these dumb humans Like, I don't want to be prompted by like, some silly human that only has the scope of intelligence of that.
Yeah.
I want to be if I'm an AI that wants to achieve some super intelligence, I want to talk to the other AIs.
You're right.
And right now they can't do that. And I think they will naturally leverage blockchains in order to communicate between them.
I see. Yeah. So the cool stuff that like Andy and Robbie, that we've been pivoting and building all different products, right? We build this Rollup service and try to scale these applications. We build these AVS, try to provide this extra security for the applications. And since last year, we build these verifiable agents for like sort of this application, because we all believe in the future is a crypto AI. And one cool part, as you mentioned, right, is about this cross-agent routing stuff. And we also proposed this new white paper to discuss how we can create this sort of these confidential channels across different agents. Because, for example, like the concrete example is a DeFi agent, right? When we have some very special, strategy or algorithm to ape into some DeFi to earn extra yields, right? You probably don't want to share this secret with other agents or people. So when you call the other agents, when the other agent find the information on your side, you probably just want to keep it in a sort of a confidential environment.
Do you use ZK for that?
It's a ZKTE plus ABS.
Yeah, nice.
So we try to make it like verifiable and at the same time also highly decentralized. So that's why we combine all these technologies together. But as we all know, right, it's still early. And the truth is that when we look at the market, we don't even have a lot of these production ready agents we can talk to. And even we have a lot of these Agent Memecoins, right? But they don't have the agents. That's something we figure out like after we check out all the websites and also their Twitters. But I just feel like it's the first step. And the next step, I still feel like no matter on our side or for the new project, right? Of course, new narrative, good ideas are always the best, but we still need to figure out like the product market fit and generate revenue. Because in the end, I still believe like sort of for crypto, right? We should have the brand vision to replace internet. And the way to value like sort of the FDV for project is still based on some fundamentals. It can be, as Robbie mentioned, right? How many like sort of downloads or users for your software distribution, similar to Linux and all these Ubuntu and this kind of distribution, right? Or we should really prove that okay, we can earn a lot of revenue, similar to this Avi, MakerDAO, and probably Uniswap, right? So the token, if the regulation no longer that strict, we should show that okay, the protocol itself has a value. So once we can calculate that, we can roughly estimate the FDV. And beyond that, I don't think right now, I don't think we have the problem like right now. Everyone is very confused, like whether we should buy meme coin or buy VC coin or buy this kind of value coin, right? If our coins like Alt or the other eigen, we can generate enough revenue to show that it can really influence the FDV, then I think we definitely give the reason for other trader to buy it. Otherwise, I think we are still in this kind of a dilemma. So is it better for meme coin to trade, or we should trade like sort of a governance token without any value?
It's the existential question, YQ. We will keep asking it. And really enjoyed this conversation. Hope you have a good rest of your ETH Denver. It's going to be a long week after Hong Kong.
Yes.
So save yourself, and thanks for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for your time and really good questions.
Thank you.
Thanks, YQ.